Welcome to Alcohol and Anime Night. My name is Scott, and tonight we are going to unbox the G.I. Joe Classified Target exclusive Trubble Bubble, the Python Patrol version, that I ended up getting for about $13. It was originally about $43. I'm really excited, and let's get this thing unboxed straight away. So we're trying out kind of a new review station for unboxings. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. But just a little history about this Trubble Bubble. It was one of the early figures in the 1980s G.I. Joes. It was a small type of vehicle that pretty much everybody had. When this came out, it was originally, I believe, a HasLab, which is kind of like their Kickstarter, and it was pretty expensive. Not gonna lie, I really thought it was cool. I really liked one, but the price was pretty expensive. It came out at Target later on as this repaint, which has got the yellow, the Python Patrol style graphics, and that's really cool, but the price was about $44, which was just too much for me. It's just too much. And call me an old man. So I saw the price drop down to about $35, maybe $31. And I thought, oh, that's quite a lot better. And then I heard some rumors that they had gone straight to clearance, even showing up at Goodwill. And so I ran out and I found them for $13.49 on clearance. I probably should have picked up two of them, but I really just wanted the one. I don't have room for a whole bunch of them, so I've got a ton of these like amazing G.I. Joe figures that I've gotten on clearance, playing that clearance chicken game, as the Tidarium hanger would say, and it's really paid off. So let's get this popped open. Got some cool graphics here on the side. They really do a good job with this artwork, by the way, and I love what they do with actually having the real vehicle in the photographs and kind of giving you a lot of folks that pick these G.I. Joe classifieds up do toy photography. So it's really cool. They kind of show you, hey, this is what it's going to look like in the photography shot. So I think that's pretty neat. All right, first things up is just our box, which is probably gonna just have all our ancillary things on it. Comes with the TeleViper, which is, of course, a figure that's included. I love that they included these figures. It would have been worth $13 without the figure. Hell, the figure itself is worth $13. So this is an incredible value right off the bat. Right off the bat. And yeah, pretty cool. Let's get this opened up here. I believe they've got a whole bunch of cool stuff in here. I'm just gonna go quick. Get this torn open. They use like a parchment paper here. I'm just gonna open it right away. I'm not gonna wait. Oh, listen to that. All right, and this is the jet engine that is going to get attached there. There's some louvers on the back side of the thrusters. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, good detail. Let you know not to get yourself near these. I was wondering if these rotated, but they don't. That's okay. But I like it in black. I think that's maybe a more realistic color, black. Okay, we got some more stuff. Oh, there was just literally heads floating about in there. All right, so we got this hose bit, which I'm almost positive attaches to the weapon, but I have another idea of what I might do with it, so I'm gonna set that aside here. His weapon, which again has the hole on the side here for it. Now, it kind of almost looks like some kind of sonic blaster, but you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a net launcher. If you've ever seen a net launcher gun, that's what that looks like, and it kind of makes sense if it's something where somebody's flying. I've seen people use net launchers to take down drones and stuff, so I kind of wonder if that's what that's for, or maybe some kind of a sonic blaster. Cool, either way. Maybe even some kind of flamethrower. You almost like using a jet engine as a flamethrower. I don't know, but it's cool. It's cool. I don't know how much I'm going to use it because he's probably going to be flying around in the thing. A couple of heads. We'll see what head is actually on him. There's a white guy head, and then I got to be honest, this is the cool one. It's kind of a cyberpunk-like head. I think that's going to be the one I'm going to use, and I'm going to guess there's a black guy head on there. So we got a white guy head, a black guy head, and I guess a robot head. I really like this one with like the techno goggles. That's really cool. I'm probably going to go with that one. We've got this mine thing here, which people have talked about. It's like an air mine, apparently, or like a bomb that you can drop, and this bit opens up here, so you can like service the inside of it. That's kind of a neat feature that they even included that. It was totally not necessary. Again, for the price, I'll take any kind of little accessories and everything that you can add to the playability. So let's put that back in there. These two pieces here are what the missiles are going to attach to, so we'll get that attached to the vehicle once that happens. And speaking of missiles, I've got one missile right here and a second missile right here. So we've got dual missiles. That's already cool. I'm very excited about that. And obviously this is going to be kind of the big part. This is the chin gun, which goes right here. No, it goes on the chin of the Trubble Bubble itself. So pretty cool. And then there is his backpack. It's kind of got almost like, you can't really see it here, but there's some details. Almost looks like a turtle shell, like the way there's like some octagons on it. Again, I don't know how much I'm going to use this because he's likely going to be in the vehicle. So, but awesome that they included it. I don't know. It makes me think that it would be almost like a parachute, but I doubt that it is actually. All right. Well, that actually worked out pretty good. So I'm going to put this just over here. All right, so we've got them in this little display here. The Trubble Bubble itself looking good. Yeah, the figure looking good. Let's get them out of there. We're going to cut them out with our trusty knife. Yeah, there we go. There it comes out. And there's a nice little view. I like the tinted visor. The HasLab one was clear. I kind of like the tinted better. I first of all feel like that's more realistic about what you'd actually do. I really wasn't sure about this color initially, but I really like it. The red is cool, and the Python Patrol logo here is like a metallic silver. And this is the control bit here, the landing skids. I do wish these landing skids were a little larger, honestly. And then we're gonna figure out how to attach this bomb here. I think people have had some problems attaching it. And yeah, all right, really cool. Let's get this going here and we'll get him out of his, we still got one more. There we go. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, cool guy, typical G.I. Joe, classified, posability. There's probably a million videos out there with this TeleViper, but yeah, cool guy. These G.I. Joe classified figures are amazing. They're just so cool. Great posability. The way they have like these joints where you can actually see, like it's like a smooth transition over. I dig these pants, man. I want these pants. I want these Python Patrol pants. Where can I get these? Belt is cool. Vest is cool. Again, he's rocking that head. I'm just gonna pull his head off straight away and go with the other one. Ah! Yeah, I'm going with that techno head. That sounds like a move that you do to somebody. Ooh, that's a little loose. I'm gonna be honest, that's kind of loose, that head. Look at that, that moves a little easier than maybe it should. Maybe it's because I was just so aggressive with it right there. So the techno head, yeah, man, it's cool, but it's a little loosey-goosey, but I like it. I'm going with it anyway. Yeah, I like that he has this kind of wrist-mounted, I don't know what you call it, maybe like a computer. And that is cool. I'm trying to see if, oh, it does rotate. That's cool. It's a separate piece. I thought it was molded into his arm. So, I guess moment of truth now. Before we get him into it, I want to see if we can figure out how to get this thing together. So it should be fairly self-explanatory. I got two pegs here. I'm just going to do the math and say that they plug in here. I'm not going to look at any instructions, and frankly, there aren't any. So back in the day, they'd give you instructions for everything. It's kind of wild that they don't now, I suppose. It's probably part of this like QR code on the side, but I mean, does anybody scan those? It seems like a wild, it seems so dangerous to just scan random QR codes. All right, we're gonna get these on the side here. They only go one way, these bits that mount the missiles, and we're gonna see if I can do it right the first time. And it's like a slightly bigger way on one side. All right. Now, I have heard people say these are not that solid on there, which is no big deal. Just a dab of glue will probably be on. I guess it's okay. But probably if you started moving that missile on and off, it would probably come off pretty easy. We shall see. I'm just going to get it on there, and it looks good. It looks good. And we'll get this missile on here on each side. I love that this guy's got some guts, man. Launching a missile like straight next to his like hips, just carrying that around. I love the guts on the Cobra guys. They're just going to be like rolling around. These missiles are fairly close to these jet engines too. I like that too. These guys are just, they don't care. No F's given. All right, this chin gun. Now I have also heard this thing goes on pretty tough, and I've also heard that this thing goes on pretty tough, and that people have had to heat this up in order to get it on. I'm just gonna try to get it on. If it goes on, great. If not, then I'll heat it up. It's super hot here in Arizona, so let's give it a shot. I mean, I think that's on. It didn't click or anything, but I feel like that's on. I wouldn't want to push it on it any harder. I like that. And I also like that it's pretty solid. It's not wiggly like the head of that guy is. So this sits pretty good there. When I saw this originally, I thought maybe it sat really on the gun, and that bothered me. I was like, no military would just have like the weight of the vehicle just sitting on the gun. That would be ridiculous. But it does not. It's probably, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch above it. You can make it rest on the gun, but it doesn't have to. So I kind of like it. I know it's a small thing for anybody else, but I just hate when stuff doesn't make sense. I know we're talking about a literally jet engine attached to a seat, but I don't know, I felt like it made sense. Now, what I'd like to do, I wish that I could get this hose kind of attached here, so it's almost like that the hose is a control wire for this. I don't think that's gonna work for a number of reasons. But there is a little spot where you can plug the hose in to the gun, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna plug this hose in here. I know you're not supposed to, I know it's for the gun, but I feel like it looks more like a component that should be for the ship itself. So you can roast me in the comments if you want, but I like the idea that it's almost like a component rather than part of the gun. That just seems silly to me in some ways. Again, roast me in the comments if you want, but it's my toy. I'm gonna play with it the way I want, and you know, I'm gonna make it look like it's some kind of maybe like a fuel or whatever. I'm just attaching it here in the back, and I gotta be honest, that looks cool. Yeah, that looks really neat. It almost looks like, yeah, I dig that. I dig that a lot. I just tucked it behind there. I'll zoom in on it here in a second. I like that. I don't like hoses and stuff attached to, so that's what I did with it. I kind of like looped it around there, and if you kind of just like look at it, it looks like it's just the controls are coming out to the engines. I think it just adds a little bit more of a flair here, and you know what? If nothing else, it's just a place to store it. And so again, I'm sure I'm gonna get roasted by like people who are just purist, but I like that. I think that looks cool, and I'm probably gonna leave it that way. So haters gonna hate. Okay, so this opens up here. I dig it, and there is a harness here. This reminds me so much of playing with G.I. Joes back in the day with my brother. We would, get all these things posed up. We had some pretty cool vehicles. We did have, and I was just thinking about this the other day because I saw the Vamp coming out. We had I think it was called it was from the Tiger Force line. I think it was called the Tiger Stinger, so Tiger Sting. And it was basically the recolor of the Vamp done in that yellow Tiger Force thing, and we didn't know the difference. We just thought it was a cool Jeep thing, but now I'm wondering if they're going to redo that Vamp as maybe a Target exclusive, so watch for that. Who knows? Okay, let's get this guy on here. It's funny, his shoes, they look like dress shoes. I don't know, it's like he's going to the office, but he's going to commute to the office in the way that I wish I could. So we're going to get this on here, get him on here. This is exciting for people to watch because they can't see anything, but trust me, we're going to get him on here. Got his cool techno head, and again, people said they had problems with this, getting this harness on, so we'll see if that's accurate. It's not easy, it's a little gummy. If it was a little less gummy, that would be easy, but I mean, it went right on. So I'm wondering if some people had troubles with this because they were trying to do it on camera maybe, and God only knows. And also, this may have been sitting on the shelf for a while, so some of these things could have softened up. People who got them right out of the, right off the bat might have gotten a different kind of, as the plastic ages, it might have affected it. Okay, we got them on here. Now, the whole thing for the controls is very much like a motorcycle control, and I'm going to try not to break it because it's all quite small, I'll be honest. So there he is. I haven't closed the top yet, but there he is, kind of in the Trubble Bubble. Feet kind of dangling like a roller coaster. I'm going to be honest, that would be a little freaky for me. I would want some kind of thing on my foot. And then this is able to rotate this way and that. And now, for the moment of truth, we're going to close this up. And does it latch into place? We're going to see. Kind of does. I just want to snap some tabs off. Yeah, it does. It looks pretty cool, man. I'm going to be honest, this is awesome. So you can fold this about. It can shoot. You can shoot up and down, side to side. I mean, this is really cool. I love this, like, kind of a smart idea of, like, well, a jetpack, that'd be pretty hard to do, but you could just have a seat with thrusters on it, and then you would be able to fly around, and it would be pretty mobile. It doesn't take up a ton of space. Here's something I just noticed. I feel like the Trubble Bubble helmet itself, like the bubble, actually kind of either looks like Cobra Commander's head, like his helmet, or like the Cobra Trooper's helmet. I'm going to try to put up some kind of side by side, but I feel like that's what that looks like. I did not get that until just now because it's darker. That is really cool. There's a display on there. All right, now I'm going to take a look at this bomb thing. How does this go on? Is there like a way that I can attach it? I'm going to guess no, but it would be cool if there was kind of some way to do that. All it would take is like a tab of some kind, and there is, it feels like there's like a way to do this, and again, and there even looks like there's like a port here underneath there that I should be able to open up. Part of me wants to mess around and see if I can. Give me a second. I'm gonna see if this opens up. I feel like, oh. Oh man, there is like a panel underneath here, and it looks like it comes off. And what would be awesome is if that plugged underneath there. I don't know if it does. I feel like I'm gonna break it if I do anymore, but because it costs $13, I'm not. I mean, it moves. This thing moves in and out. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna go off camera and mess with it a little bit and see if I can figure this out. Okay, I messed around with it. This panel is kind of just sitting on there. You can actually pry it off a little bit, and I pried it off just enough to see if there's some kind of tab or whatever under there. But it makes me think with not too much work, you could put something that mounted this thing under there so you weren't just like sitting on top of it. I'm not that concerned with it right now. I love when you can actually store stuff somewhere, and there is some kind of like thing where you can like hang it. There's like some eyelets in it, so I don't know if there's a way to like maybe pick it up and you could drive it and then drop it on somebody. That actually would make good sense if he was like, if it was here and it was beside him and then there was some kind of cord when he took off, he could pick it up and then drop it down on people. So yeah, it's cool. I feel like it's a little bit of an afterthought. They didn't really like think this one all the way through, but anyway, I don't care. I'm loving it. You get 3 heads, a gun, a backpack, this bomb, missiles, this flight pod thing. I got it for less than $14. If you find one of these, pick it up. I don't care about the coloring. I think it looks great. My name is Scott from Alcohol and Anime Night, and check out the other G.I. Joe unboxing I have here. If you like that, I'm going to do a few more, I think. So until next time, come by.